Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound podcast channel on YouTube. I am Unfound's host, Ed Densel. Before I get started, please subscribe to this channel and hit that little bell button so that when we upload videos such as this one, you will be alerted. You will also be alerted when the live show starts on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'd appreciate if you did that. As the title says, this is a map analysis for the disappearance of Ashley Simpson from Salmon Arm, British Columbia, Canada. This is an episode that came out on October 8th, 2021. As I've stated many times before on these types of videos, this video is not supposed to take the place of the audio episodes that come out every Friday. This is a supplemental. I do these videos when I feel that maybe the descriptions of locations and routes, things like that, maybe get a little laborious, and maybe you come away from the interview thinking, man, I really didn't understand what the guest was really trying to say. How far was it away? What direction? How much time? If I think that there is any interview that is like that, I will then do a video such as this one. And I've done a few of these videos recently. So I thought that was certainly the situation in the explanation of Ashley Simpson's disappearance. So that's why we're all here. What you can see on the screen is up here at the top, the area where Ashley and Derek were working in February of 2016. And then way down here at the bottom of the screen, you can see Salmon Arm, and then you can see Margaret Falls. These are the three primary locations mentioned during the interview with Ashley's mother, Cindy. So allow me to go through this. Ashley is up here. She's working with her father at establishment up here. He gets done with his time there. He goes back east to Ontario. Ashley chooses to remain. She works a little longer. She had met this guy, Derek, who works across the street. He had come into where she was working in a kind of restaurant. They got to know each other. And she decided when her time was done, when she went on a break, she was going to go with Derek. And they were going to go down to Salmon Arm and live in this trailer that he has. So what happened is in late February, she was done. He got off time from work. I'm still not sure what happened there. But he had a trailer. And they towed this trailer the whole way down. Now, you will remember maybe that Cindy said it was 18 hours. Google says it's 13 hours and 46 minutes. I guess what I want to say about that is, okay, maybe Cindy got the time wrong, but certainly these two places are not close. And I think that's the main thing you have to remember. But they took this trailer that Derek had the whole way down to a property down here in Salmon Arm, here at the bottom of the screen, and put it on this friend's piece of land, and that's where they lived, starting in maybe late February, early March of 2016, until the time Ashley went missing. So they were living down here, and then on that date of the disappearance, you will remember Cindy said that she FaceTimed with Ashley. Ashley talked about how Derek owed her money. She also said that they were going to be going to Margaret Falls, and you can see how close Margaret Falls is to where they were. It was Derek, Ashley, and this friend of Derek's, and allegedly the three of them went from Salmon Arm to Margaret Falls, hung out for the day with the friend driving, and then they went back to Salmon Arm, and the friend's story that he told the RCMP is the last time he saw Ashley and Derek together, they were arguing about money, Derek owing Ashley money, just as Ashley said in FaceTiming with her mother earlier that day. You will then remember that Derek said that they were there in the trailer in Salmon Arm, that she packed up her stuff and she left because she was so ticked off at him. And that is the last time he says that he saw her. And in fact, nobody else has ever come forward to say, yeah, I saw her walking down the street. Nothing like that. So that's how that happened. They were up here together. They went down here. This is where they were until the end of April, April 27th, 2016. On that day, they allegedly went to Margaret Falls and then came back. But as Cindy says, she's not sure there's any proof that they actually went to Margaret Falls, and there's no proof that Ashley came back to Salmon Arms. So it's a little bit still vague over 5 years later. Then what happened 3 years later, in 2019, is that after a septic system was vacuumed out and trying to keep this as clean as possible, this is where a truck goes in and vacuums out all of the human roughage. They do not have a regular sewer system in this area because it's out in the middle of nowhere. Kind of like a porta-john, I guess, type of situation. And the roughage got sucked out. And then when the person who did this emptied it somewhere and then ended up cleaning the inside of the tank out, up here, he found Ashley's ID in the tank of the septic truck. And the conclusion was drawn that the way the ID got in there, it was that the last place, or the only place maybe he vacuumed out that day, was an establishment right down the street from where Ashley had worked back in 2015 into 2016. You also remember that Cindy said that the ID looked fairly clean, meaning, once again, the RCMP got the idea that it had not been in there very long. So somehow she's down here, but her ID ends up 13 hours, almost 14 hours away in a septic system back up here. You also remember that Cindy said that at no point did Ashley say that she ever lost her ID, and this ID that was found would have been the current ID for her in February of 2016. So if you're going to, whatever theory you think, whatever happened here, you're going to have to put that ID situation in there somewhere. And then on top of everything else, what we learned is that in bringing this trailer that Derek had from up here to down here, that he'd used a stolen truck to do it. He had stolen a truck from the place he was working, towed the trailer down here, and kind of just deserted the truck down there. Never returned it. Didn't let anybody know he's taking it. Deserted it there. It was found down there, I guess, after Ashley went missing. But as you heard Cindy say, she does not believe that Derek was ever charged with anything, even though it would have been grand theft auto or whatever they call it in Canada. So that is the disappearance of Ashley Simpson. It starts up here. Derek and Ashley are together. They go down here. She disappears from this area. Almost 2 months later, her ID then is found back up here 3 years later, almost 14 hours away. In a way, it's a little bit like Julianne Gillet's disappearance that we covered earlier this year, where her purse was found 11 hours away. But dare I say it, this situation is even more perplexing. So please analyze all that. Do what you can with it. I'd love to hear your theories regarding it. If you are a member of the Facebook discussion group, or you can contact me at unfoundpodcast@gmail.com if you have any insights on this. And that is my explanation. That is the analysis of the map for the disappearance of Ashley Simpson. Thank you for watching.